Hello, and welcome to Rhythm of Grace, where we live one moment, step, and day at a time, learning what surrender to the Lord is. While you're here, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be made aware of new content when it comes on my channel. All right, today we are on day 2 of the R1017 study. Now, what is R1017? It stands for Romans 10:17. Romans 10:17 says, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Rhythm of Grace, it stands to be a place that establishes biblical rhythms in our lives. Now, when we talk about rhythms, these are things we do daily, or it's our daily patterns and our habits. And a lot of us take the most important habits that we're supposed to have and we neglect those. And one of the most neglected habits as a believer is reading the word. The word is where we are strengthened. The word is where we are renewed. And the word is something that is vital to our health as a believer. It's not enough for me just to get on here and be like, you need to read the word. I'm just going to lead the way in this and say, read the word with me. I will be in the New Testament, going through the entire New Testament from Matthew all the way to Revelation. And I was talking to my husband yesterday, and we calculated this is going to take about 2.5 years. And so this is not a small undertaking. This is quite the commitment here, but I have a passion to see God's people grow in faith, and that comes by hearing of the word. So today, this is day 2, and yesterday was day 1, obviously, and we read Matthew chapter 1, and today we are in Matthew chapter 2, and Matthew chapter 2 has 23 verses. We will not be reading all 23 verses. We'll be reading the first 12. I want to keep these relatively short and consumable and not too overwhelming. And I think 12 verses is quite enough to go through on one video. So we're going to jump in now. Quick backstory. Yesterday we saw the genealogies. We saw the book of Matthew setting that up, going over the lineage of Christ. And then now we're getting into that Christmas narrative, the birth of Christ. This is something we usually only look at during the Christmas season, but since we're here, we're going to read about it. So follow me along. I am in my Systematic Theology Bible. It's an ESV, and just read along with me, Matthew chapter 2, and we're going to go 1 through verse 12. All right. And it starts off, the visit of the wise men. All right. Now, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, where is he who has been born the King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose, and have come to worship him. When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all of Jerusalem with him. And assembling all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They told him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for it is written by the prophet, and you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means the least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel. Then Herod summoned the wise men secretly and ascertained from them what time the star had appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word that I too may come and worship him. After listening to the king, they went on their way. And behold, the star that they had seen when it rose went before them until it came to rest over the place the child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. And going into the house, they saw the child with Mary his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then opening their treasures, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And being warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed to their own country by another way. So this is the very beginning of Jesus' life. We see the wise men, we see the gifts, and we already see the chief priests and the scribes integrating into the narrative here. We see a plot to destroy baby Jesus. And when we go down into the narrative, you will see Herod take actions. And those actions are very reflective of history, how people treated unwanted children way back when. So that is where we are in the narrative. And there's a verse here that's a cross reference here, and it's Micah 5:2 is being referenced in verse 6 when it says, "And you, O Bethlehem, in land of Judah, by no means least among the rulers of Judah, for from you shall come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." So again, we're going back to Old Testament references. And as we go through the Synoptic Gospels, there will be so many cross references that are going to take us straight back into the Old Testament. I love the New Testament, but man, I have such a heart for the Old Testament. I would encourage you, if you've never read the Old Testament, there's so much value there. So I just get so excited when I see cross references back to the Old Testament. That's what I have for you today. Today was nice and short, but tomorrow we're going to go starting on verse 13 to the end of Matthew chapter 2. Until then, we live by the rhythm of grace, one surrendered minute, hour, and day at a time. Until next time, be blessed.